I had a really interesting interview at the state attorney's office because I was under the impression that I was not going to get the job because of where my rank was in my class. There were a handful of kids that had, not kids, law students that had gone before me at the state attorney's office and applied, did their interview, and didn't get the job. So I was thinking, okay, I may have some I have a good my background was good because I had all the mock trial stuff, but my grades were not the best. They were good, but they were not as good as some of the other people. So that being said, when I went to that interview, I was pretty sure it wasn't going to happen, and it was the final interview at the state attorney's office. This one person that doesn't work there anymore, who was like kind of like the enforcer of the office, like he was like a tough guy. He came up to me and he said, "So I see that you were a criminal law teaching assistant, and you have all this mock trial stuff. How much do you know about criminal law?" And I heard the question and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, now I'm going to have fun. And I sat back in the chair and I just said, everything. I said, I know like that. But I was very serious about it. I was like, everything. And he was like, everything. And like, they all kind of looked at each other.
Not expecting that answer.
But he pulled one of these random books out, opens it up, and he starts going down the page and he says, okay, well, what is this? And I said, oh, you don't need to know that. Don't worry about that. Like, that's not something that's important to know. Like, you don't need to know that. And he was like completely confused by what I was doing. So then he closed the book and he sat down and he said, how do you feel about the death penalty? And I was like, love it. Just like that, but I was completely serious. And he's like, love it. And I was like, I think they should expand it. I think there are some areas they could expand it to. I think people like certain child molesters can get it. I think there's some areas for expansion. And he was like, and at this point, one of the three of them was starting to laugh and kind of knew what I was doing. And I got to my car and the phone rang and they offered me the job. The HR person offered me the job on the phone. And I was like,
I love that.